explicitly promising to support it. We do things like facilitate defensive publications to record inventions in new ways. Now, I'd like to pause for just one brief second around defensive publications. Does anyone here in this room know what a defensive publication is? Harold Velte, of course. Yes, and Soren. So the lawyer and the crazy GPL guy know. Everyone else is silent. A defensive publication is something that records an invention. It doesn't cost any money, but it means that the invention is recorded so that no one else can pretend it's their invention. No one else can patent it. A defensive publication is a really important way of recording innovation so that people know it's there. I bring it up because a lot of people have an impression that patents are there and then you can just do things like release source code and your inventions are public. It's not quite that simple. I remember reading an article that the average US Patent Office examiner has got 5 minutes per application to do a quick search. So if you don't actually have a defensive publication recorded in the type of place that they look, they mightn't know you invented something. They might grant a patent to someone else around the invention. And then there's the expensive business of proving that the patent had existing prior art. So yes, OIN does things like facilitates defensive publications to help people who don't want to make a patent or strategically at this time do not want to issue a patent, record an innovation defensively. We work with the community to neutralize threats. And by that, I don't necessarily mean dramatic confrontations. I mean that we are out there speaking with community organizations like Linux Foundation, like Software Freedom Law Center, basically everyone, trying to understand what the current challenges, concerns, fears are in the community around patents so that we can come up with strategies and we can invest in finding solutions to keep the Linux system growing, to keep people confident and secure. And of course, on the slightly more dramatic side, we discourage or deter parties which might be aggressive towards the Linux system, speculators, trolls, whatever. We try to make sure that the Linux system is as safe as possible from challenges. And when challenges arise, we try to address those. We get engaged. All of this, whether it's telling people about Linux, free software, and open innovation, whether it's recording innovations through defensive publications, speaking with community organizations, having a group, a community of people who pledge non-aggression, or deterring aggressive parties. All of this is about creating a patent aggression no-fly zone over the Linux system. It's about creating a situation where people see the value, understand the value, and we can maintain it. So it's really, if you pull back and look at the larger free software economy that's growing 35% a year, things like what Open Invention Network are doing are part of a larger approach to innovation, a sort of new approach to innovation based on the concepts behind free software. It's about thinking, how do we formally organize collaborative, global innovation around things like technology? How do we make that work? How do we ensure that investors see value, developers comprehend rules, businesses can do transactions no matter what country, what culture? It's an important conversation. And things around the Linux system, where we're at the absolute cutting edge of this economy, this is where we're beginning to prove the methods, the processes that will help guide later growth throughout all of free software, and later throughout all of the economic and social areas inspired by free software. Getting practical again, pulling back, everyone can be part of this. Everyone can help with this, and everyone can get support through this. Basically, everyone doing stuff around the Linux system or free software can be part of the conversation, and I narrowed it down to 4 easy things you can do. First of all, pledging not to be aggressive, formally stating that you get it, and that on the Linux system, if you happen to have a Linux system patent, you do not plan to use it aggressively. That's an important step. It's explaining to yourself and to others that you get where the value of collaboration is coming from. Open Invention Network runs a community of licensees who make that pledge, completely free. The only thing that we ask is that people make the pledge of non-aggression. Very, very happy to welcome new people, whether it's a project or a business. We want more people to state that they get it, that they do not think patent aggression is necessary or a good thing around the Linux system, and that they're willing to stand up and be counted on that. You can do it for free at openinventionnetwork.com, or you can just grab my business card in a minute. You can get help if you're ever faced with aggression or threats around the Linux system. We've got a slightly silly name for it, Linux Defenders 911. I blame our marketing department. But it is real. I mean, if you go there to openinventionnetwork.com/linux911.php, basically it's a simple way to go and get help. If you have any concerns, if you're approached with patent threats or intimidation, contact OIN. We're there to support you. Anyone, anywhere can do it. Whether or not they're a licensee, whether or not they've pledged non-aggression, every stakeholder is welcome. We're here to help. You can support things like defensive publications to ensure that new innovations stay available. If you invent something cool, don't just forget about it. Go to places like defensivepublications.org, where Open Invention Network has created an explanation of how you can record it, and then we'll take the time with our lawyers and the cost of making sure it's recorded in the right places so that patent examiners can see your invention and make sure that patents are not granted on it. And you can explore interesting initiatives like peer-to-patent and post-peer-to-patent. A lot of people will not have heard of these. You can find out more on linuxdefenders.org. But basically, these are initiatives being run by New York Law School. They've got a thing called the Center for Patent Innovations and various patent offices around the world. In particular, the US Patent Office and the Japanese Patent Office. And I believe the UK Patent Office is going to start running a trial as well. This is about reform, about checking quality of applications and even quality of existing patents, trying to make sure that the current system is explored and examined and thinking about new ways of dealing with things like patents. Interestingly, questions about free software and legal issues are solved just as collaboratively as making code. What we have is an immense global community of people, businesses, governments, and non-profit organizations putting energy and time into a very interesting approach to innovation. From the perspective of patents, which can be charged, it can be a quite emotional or aggressive discussion when we speak about patents. From the perspective of patents, we can address today's challenges, all of them, in very practical ways. And whether we want in the future to maintain, say, software patents or to abolish them, whatever our perspectives as organizations and as companies, everyone can assist in dealing with today's challenges through the steps I've outlined. The resources are there, the expertise is there, and increasingly as time goes by, the proof that it works is there. So, what we would like to do at Open Invention Network is invite everyone to be part of the solution. We are very open to discussion. We're very happy to inform people about what we're doing, about what the challenges are, and where we can all go next. As I said, whether you're a project, whether you're a business, whether you're a charity, we want to speak with you. You're a stakeholder in an amazing approach to technology, and our sole mission, our sole purpose, is to help protect and grow this approach. To do that from the perspective of patents. My email is here. I'm here today and tomorrow, and the CEO of Open Invention Network will be here tomorrow. Please come up to us, please ask questions, and let us help if we can. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Shen. And because time is limited for just open for one question here.
Aha!
Okay. Hello.
Hi.
Okay. Will you please kindly provide a case study that OIM defends these speculators successfully or unsuccessfully? Thank you.
I will go for a success story. Well, I'll give an example of a large challenge. Open Invention Network has quite a lot of patents in a defensive pool, so that can deter companies. But people often ask, what about trolls? You can't deter a troll with patents. How do you address trolls? So I'd like to explain how we did that in one particular situation. There was a case in 2009 where Allied Security Trust bought some patent lots, some groups of patents from Microsoft, actually. And Open Invention Network became aware that one of these patent lots contained some patents that could be of concern to free software. We work quite a lot in the business area of patent transactions to build relationships, and we had a good relationship with AST. So we moved in and we agreed to buy that patent lot, to put it in our defensive pool, and to give everyone who pledges non-aggression a royalty-free, unconditional license to all of those patents. In that way, we took the patents out of the market before they could be used harmfully. So that's an example of how we try to step in and to deal with potential threats, potential challenges in a very practical sense. We had the relationships, we had the information, and we had the ability to take those patents out of the market and to make sure that absolutely everyone who says that they're not going to be aggressive around Linux can always have a royalty-free license for any purpose on those patents. You're very welcome.
Okay. Thank you, Shen, for your our introduction to the OIM and your sharing for your successful case. Yeah. Okay.